Hello and welcome to viewers of Good Morning DRC TV. I hope you are doing very well. Today is Monday, 26th of May. I want to bring you my take on the speech made by Joseph Kabila. And I believe that many of you who do watch this channel, you kind of know what my position is with regards to this. Going back maybe 3 weeks, I made a video in which I said the following, that based on what is happening in the US, the new strategy of Kagame was this: he will withdraw from Goma, but he will make sure that Kabila goes into Goma and takes his place there officially. Because what's in Kagame's mind, this is basically how the whole thing is going to play out. They have always maintained the fact that the war in the DRC has nothing to do with Rwanda. They said this is between Congolese. Now, we all know that's a lie based on the different reports we've had, like mapping, and also the different reports basically that came out from the MONUSCO. It clearly identifies and gives proof of Rwanda's involvement. And we know that the M23 is the offshoot of AFDL, RCD Goma, and CNDP of Kunda Batwale, and now it is the M23, and the AFC of Nanga belongs to Joseph Kabila. Now, no one can say the contrary. Now, I really want to just tell you what I think. What is going on here is this: Kagame, because he's being forced by the US to make peace, they have figured out that the way to do this will be this: he is going to withdraw, and then Kabila is going to take his place there, but Rwanda will still be in Goma and Bukavu because he, Kagame, cannot survive. He cannot survive or have the economy of Rwanda cannot really survive if he loses the eastern part of Congo. The mineral deals that he has made with Qatar, all the loans that he has taken, the economy that is booming is booming. Qatar has invested heavily in Kigali. And the Qatar has invested there based on the minerals that is coming from the DRC. Now, you go back again a couple of months back, I said this, that there were two corridors that were given to Paul Kagame by Joseph Kabila. One of it was security. That is the fact that you cannot have all that concerns security and military in the eastern part of Congo was under his control. And all the economic business deals and everything in the eastern part of Congo was also under Paul Kagame's control. And this was given to him by Joseph Kabila and his government. It was all fine as long as he was making his billions, as long as he was doing all that he was doing in the DRC, there was no issue, there was no problem, he got along fine. When President Tshisekedi came into power, he said no to all of those deals. He said no, and he wanted to collaborate with all the 9 neighbors so they can be a good working relationship and also a good business environment for everyone to benefit from. Now, that didn't obviously please Kagame, and he revived the M23 again and then started the onslaught. And we know that Kabila also, who was he bet his money on the fact that President Tshisekedi would not last a year in office. He will be assassinated at some stage and he can go back to gain power in the DRC. And having failed all the attempt to take out Felix Tshisekedi, he has basically returned to his old man that he used to be. Now, if you listen to this speech that he gave, I'm sure it's on the net. You can basically follow it if you want to. Here, I just want to basically give my analysis of what I think is happening here. So, while the US and the DRC and Rwanda, there is a peace agreement that is supposed to be signed in a few days or maybe a couple of weeks. This situation is happening in Goma. A message is being sent by Kabila and Paul Kagame to the US that we have problems here in the DRC. It's nothing to do with Rwanda, it's to do with us here, the M23 and the AFC. We are frustrated, we are rebels, we are fighting the government in Kinshasa, and there will not be peace until you negotiate with me here. Now, you have to understand, now this is Paul Kagame who's speaking in Joseph Kabila, because listen, Kabila is a multi-billionaire. If it all depended on him, with everything that he has amassed as wealth in the DRC, he would not be in this fight. What would he fight for anymore? He was already promised and he was given immunity and all sort of things that, no one can. He was untouchable. The man had everything. He had his political party and everything that he had. He could have just basically said, look, I've done my time. I've got all the money. I've got everything else. My family's secured, blah, blah, blah. And I don't need to do this again. He did not need to do this ever again. But his mentor, Paul Kagame, would not leave him alone. He will remind him that I place you there so that we can finally come to realize our big dream. Because that has not materialized, therefore you cannot rest. You cannot forget this thing. You must get up and do what you have to do so we can fulfill our long dream that we have for the eastern part of the DRC. So he had no choice. Because Kagame knows everything about Joseph Kabila. He placed him there. He is his mentor, and he has everything about him. And he wouldn't leave him alone. So what is happening right now is the fact that now this peace deal is going to be signed. Kagame will say, I don't have any issue with the DRC anymore. We are now at peace. We've signed this deal with the US and, with all these 6 things that have been outlined in the principle of peace accord, we'll do it. But at the same time, he knows officially Rwanda is not there, but unofficially Joseph Kabila is there and he will do what I ask him to do. So you can say this, what the M23 is fighting for, what the AFC is fighting for is for Rwanda's interests. Nothing more, nothing less. It's not for Congolese people, it is for Rwanda, primarily, even though some Congolese might come under the illusion that it is all, they're doing this for them. So here in this position, in current situation, I don't know. I wait to see what will happen in the US, because let not forget that the US is behind much of what happens around the world. And we know the US has its hands on the DRC, and it wants to partition the Democratic Republic of Congo. This plan goes way back into the 60s. Remember, the assassination of Lumumba came from the CIA. He was taken out by the blessing of the CIA in the United States. much of what goes on in the Great Lake region, kid you not, the US hand is upon it. Now, I'm thinking, I'm analyzing, would this be an opportunity for the US and the European Union to finally partition the DRC? Because the position of Joseph Kabila, and many of you would have heard what he said, in no uncertain terms, unequivocal, the man is now embracing war with the government in Kinshasa. He has called on people to be behind him so he can fight the government in Kinshasa. Now, this war, if we are not careful, this is what will bring about the partition of the Democratic Republic of Congo, because now he is now officially the, don't want to call him he's the leader of the M23 and the AFC. Now he is the leader of those two provinces, Goma and Kivu. And he's going to create, because having been a president, he knows what to do. So he's basically going to do what the necessary that needs to be done so that that country can have its own government and its own governance and way of doing things. And in the long run, then something else will happen, and that will be, look, we cannot depend on Kinshasa. Right now, they're not depending on in Kinshasa anymore. So they will carry on until they make it official. I do not see how he can come back from this, how they're going to ever get along with the government in Kinshasa again. I don't think so. It's not going to happen. And this is an assault to the sovereignty of the DRC. And believe you me, I'm not asking you to believe me, let me just take that back. Watch and see and analyze how things will go. They are determined, Kagame is determined that this time around, we cannot mess around. We must, by all means necessary, partition, take Kivu and Ituri and Goma and a few other villages and annex this, or at least make it an independent territory. They would not want to annex this directly to Rwanda, but to make it an independent entity. And this is what is basically in their mind. And also the Europeans, they will love this idea because that's what they want. They want their hands on the minerals, and the way to do it is this. This is why France is doing everything it can, its power, in order to make sure that this happens. It's backing Paul Kagame, it's backing Joseph Kabila, it's backing Nanga, and all the lots that are against the government in Kinshasa. Sad situation for my country. It's very sad. But this is basically what is coming into. This you cannot deny. But I tell you, as I listen to everything that Kabila said, and I said to myself, how many Congolese would look at this and say that this man is truly fighting for us? What did I hear about the thousands of people that died in Goma in February here? What did I hear? Absolutely nothing. It's sad to see that this is where we're actually going again with this situation. It's not meant to be, but here we are again. But this is what I told you 3 weeks back. I said this is what will happen, and it is happening right now. You will see in the days to come how this thing is going to affect what is happening in the US. And I'm not sure how the US will play this, because if the US say, okay, and I need to make a deal with the government in Kinshasa, and we need to settle down or also talk about this thing with Kabila, who is now controlling those mining region or zones, then it's a bit messy. And this is where I say that, we have to be careful with how the US is playing with all of this. Let's not kid ourselves. They're not there for the Congolese people, but they're there for their own self-interest. I hope you all have watched this. If you haven't, there is the whole video on the net. Please do watch it. I just wanted to give my take on it. And by this, I want to invite you, if you haven't subscribed, Please do subscribe, share this link, give me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let's talk. This is what we all look to do here, to think, to talk, and to exchange ideas. Take care of yourself. Until the next one, take care. Bye-bye for now.